playground. Hooray!
Man, am I excited to be here with my cast of characters. We have the Outcast Podcast ready to go for yet another episode. We're up to, 28? That's 28. For those of you that speak it in Spanish.
Good Spanish.
Say it again. How you say it?
I don't know.
Was that it?
It's 28. Don't question my Spaniardness.
He's good. They understand it. We'd understand it.
28, right?
28.
28.
I don't know why I got a dirty joke that just came to my head just now.
We do have the freaking Puerto Rican here. What is going on, my man Raymond?
I'm not surprised that he has a dirty joke in his mind. What's going on, family? How you doing?
I'm doing
Everybody
good, man.
else, TK,
Sir?
Memphis, what's good, fam?
Everybody's here. The show is ready, and we've got a good one. We've got a lot to talk about. A couple of icons passed away. We'd like to pay homage to them coming up later in the show. TK will be, of course, talking about an African-American coming up soon.
Awesome.
And before the show, TK said he was very upset because I'm always calling him out and bringing up things he talks to me about in private.
Oh,
it's just that
I don't remember this.
He was like, hey, man, every show, you're like bringing up things that we talk about off the air. I'm like, yeah, it's called a show. We got to talk about things.
No.
I didn't
It's
understand.
just the way you bring it up. Like that one you just introed. You're like, we got a segment coming up. TK's going to be talking about an African-American. No context. Like in a good way.
Well, yeah. You're proving you're not a racist. You came to me off the air and told me you wanted to prove you weren't a racist. I have a good idea for a segment. I was like, great idea.
Yeah, I don't know where that idea came from.
That's classic, though.
Well, I think it's because Ramo's
Totally
being
classic.
a bully. For some reason,
Ramo's racist.
Ramo do be bullying him,
I don't.
though.
What are you talking about?
Low key, you do be kind
What
of
did
bullying.
you? What
I'm
did he
not.
say that hurt you? Because he said something, and I saw you were hurt by it, Tom K. He said something.
Tomkat is one of my best friends and has been for a very long time.
You called him
I'm
a-
not going to sit here and let you guys tell me that I'm bullying him. I love TK.
Well, you called him a
Now I feel
grandmaster
bad.
at one point.
Now
It
I
was a
feel like he's
joke.
just hazing me.
Of course, it
called
was
him
a
that a few
joke.
times,
He's like a little
actually.
brother. How am I not going to call him that when, he says some of the things he says? Like,
Wait a
come on
minute.
now. Don't put this all on me, guys. Like, don't act like there's just some things that he says that I don't even know if he means it that way, but he says it, right?
Well,
There's just some
he
things
does.
Are
that
you
comes
reading his
out.
shirt? Read his shirt, folks.
What does your shirt say? I'm not able to see a monitor.
Oh, I see. It's
Sarcasm, one of my many talents, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Ray-
a nice shirt. Where you get that from, man?
A long time ago. It's I don't know. I don't even remember. Probably.
Is that one of your many languages?
Oh yeah, no
Sarcasm?
doubt. Yeah. Oh. It's got me through radio so far. So let's see what it does here.
Apparently, he's terrible at Spanish. We've asked him to speak Spanish a few times. We asked him to ask the guys that were painting the house to tell us what, and he was not.
Because I wanted to see you guys figure out. You guys don't realize how fucking funny that is to us.
That we can't understand what you're saying.
Come on.
I can understand that. I can understand that shit.
Hilarious.
You don't understand what they're saying either.
I don't, not really.
You were offered. You were offered
I
in
do
high
have.
school.
Listen, I do. True. I took French instead.
Ah, well,
Long
how's
story.
that working out for you?
Well, wee, motherfucker. Wee.
That's it. That's the only word.
That's
two
all
words.
That's
two.
That's all he count.
That's the only word she like.
And it's the same word twice.
Wee. That's the only word she like.
It makes it sound small though.
Yeah.
Wee.
My little wee wee. Well, I do frequent these fast food restaurants, but now I'm concerned slightly because we're going to bring up our first topic. TK, I know you texted this article. I had not heard, but we do have the story here, and a McDonald's employee was killed over cold French fries. Here's the story out of New York City. It's getting crazy in the Big Apple, I got to tell you.
Police say a McDonald's employee was shot by the son of a customer who was served cold French fries.
This wasn't the first attack on a fast food employee this year, and some are concerned about workplace safety in the city. CBS 2's Alicia Reed live tonight in Bed-Stuy with more. Alicia.
Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one. Sorry.
The victim remains in critical condition here tonight, but while the suspect is in custody, there's still a lot of concern surrounding the safety of fast food employees. A Monday evening at work turned tragic for McDonald's employee Matthew Webb.
That something could happen like that over something so simple as food, like that's That's crazy.
Sources tell CBS 2 a female customer complaining about cold fries was FaceTiming with her son during the disagreement. Witnesses say within minutes, the 20-year-old showed up to the Bed-Stuy restaurant and got into a verbal altercation with the 23-year-old employee. The argument spilled outside, and that's when Webb was shot in the neck.
Cold French fries should not result in a shooting. At the end of the day, it's gun violence all over this country, particularly in this city, that has to be brought under control. And fast food restaurants are not the safe havens they used to be.
Attorney Sanford Rubenstein represents the family of Crystal Nieves. The 19-year-old was killed in January while working the overnight shift at an East Harlem Burger King. The suspect, who was later arrested, allegedly demanded money, then shot and killed her.
Her family is not doing well. It's a tragedy they will never get over.
There have been other attacks against fast food workers this year. In March, an East Harlem McDonald's employee was stabbed multiple times with a box cutter while trying to break up a fight. And in July, 3 women violently attacked Bell Fries workers with glass bottles when told extra dipping sauce would cost them less than $2. Fast food employees in other establishments have been on edge.
That's why I don't want to work at night. I told my boss, if you want to pay me like $100 per hour, I'm not going to work.
Pay $100 an hour.
Anytime he's still not going to do $100 an hour.
I don't know, man.
Listen,
Can I bring a gun?
I kind of agree because that's why I got sick of DJing at night. You know, I DJ during the day now. It's a cushy job. I'm out on the beach and I love it. People are cool till about 5 o'clock. Tripping.
Man, that's crazy. So you can literally get bucked in fucking Brooklyn for cold fucking potatoes.
And if the sauce costs too much, you can die in Harlem. It's a Burger King employee's dead, a McDonald's employee dead, and it typically happens on these overnight shifts. I've been in L.A. late night overnight and Las Vegas late night overnight and New York City for that matter, and it does seem like the song was true. Freaks come out at night.
Oh, yeah.
You see all kinds of people. They shouldn't have nothing but drive-through. But the problem is these big buildings in these big cities, they don't have the room for the drive-throughs.
Now let me say though,
so you gotta let these crazies in at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're all methed out. It's a dangerous job.
They're stuck to the window. Let me just say though, if you've ever had some really hot, good, crispy McDonald's fries, they might be worth killing over. They're delicious.
I mean, I haven't had McDonald's in like 12 years.
There we go.
But I do miss those fries. They are so fucking good.
What do you mean you haven't had McDonald's in how long?
12 years.
12 years, not a shake, not a fry, not one friggin' fry,
Not
Memphis.
even that delicious as that little
Big Mac.
No, the
McFlurry. I mean, I know them all. What are you talking?
The honey bun thing. The
honey bun. It has been a long time.
It's been a long
sweet roll.
No.
What about the pancakes? You won't eat the damn pancakes.
Nope. I'm too prude.
He's gonna be going there after he leaves.
Like
here.
I like when I
Right?
when I want my flapjacks, I go to like a mom and pop place and I get them.
And why is that you will not eat anything from even a French fry, hash brown?
Right.
Because I saw the doggone yahoos send a Big Mac into space on the little ship thing outside the damn ship, came back to Earth. The ship was still there and they ate it. So you mean to tell me you can send something into space, which whatever the hell's up there, come back through this atmosphere that it just went up, came on back down, and then you just bite into it like, oh, it's all good, right?
Nah. That's why you won't eat
preservatives.
it?
Nah.
Yeah, preservatives. That's why you won't eat it?
Yeah.
You just don't want to get fat. That's why.
And that too, man.
I mean, it does
that.
It does do that because
it's delicious. Every now and then, I let myself have it every now and then. And what's the best thing? You said quarter pounder you like?
Yeah, probably.
I like the quarter pounder. Big Mac and the quarter pounder.
Because it's probably the most real.
The nuggets are too hit or miss.
Do you know what they call a quarter pounder in Europe?
A Royale with cheese?
Royale with cheese. He gets it.
So you saw Pulp Fiction.
Yes, Royale with cheese.
Like the rest of the world.
Are you sure it was just a movie?
No, but that's what they really do call it, Royale with cheese over there, quarter pounder.
Well, they did recently come out with
Did you
America's...
know that before you saw Pulp Fiction?
I did.
They recently came out with a America's Customer Satisfaction Index when it comes to these fast food restaurants.
Uh-huh.
And so I'll go down some of the ones that are at the top of the list.
Okay.
Panera Bread gets a pretty good score.
I'm okay with them.
We're not hearing people dying at the Panera Bread.
No, the soups are really good.
Chipotle, for whatever reason, people are not feeling too violent at the Chipotle.
That's surprising.
They give you the right
because
amount of meat and veggies and
they're
stuff.
too
So
gassy.
Don't do it.
it's right there, man. Chipotle does a great job.
Okay, now we're starting to get into the to the top 5 that people do like the customer satisfaction they receive. KFC, people like the customer satisfaction they get
Memphis,
from the KFC.
They do
Who
chicken
still
right.
goes to KFC?
Why did you just say Memphis? What are you referring to?
Memphis is
See,
our
exactly.
Memphis is
Point.
What?
Case in point.
TK, I
Right there.
tried to protect you.
I was standing up.
See. Who's
You will never
bullying?
learn.
See who's bullying.
Maybe not. I take that
I
back.
because
bullying
Memphis brings
shit,
us chicken
dog.
fingers every week. That's why.
That's my dog. I love him.
He does
I
bring
treat
us
him
chicken
fine.
fingers
just
every week.
kidding.
He brings it on
Chicken
himself.
fingers are fire as hell too.
Thank
They're
you.
so-
I was setting
I'm all about
myself
that.
up for that one.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next place.
No, man. No. Okay.
Oh man.
Now we're at the top 3. Top 3 when it comes to fast food. This next one, I don't know if you consider it fast food. Domino's. Is
Yeah.
Domino's fast? It is kind of fast serving.
Crying
Well,
under
yeah,
these
you can get it in
glasses. I
like
don't know if you can see it
30
back.
minutes or less,
Didn't
right?
they used to do that? They used
Yeah,
to do
but
that.
then people got into too many wrecks and they ended up getting sued, and Domino's stopped that. Your pizza will be there in 30 minutes or less because guys were like hauling ass to get to the house. Like, oh shit,
That's crazy.
I ain't paying for this pie. I better go 100 miles an hour. So
And
now we're down to the top 2.
All right.
Jimmy John's comes in at number
Jimmy
2.
John's, all right.
With the best
Jimmy John's
customer
all right.
service.
Okay.
Hey, it's good eating, man.
Fast.
It's healthy.
It is
It's crazy fast.
And
You can
they
order
do go
it.
like 90, 60 seconds or some shit like that.
Fast.
No. Their
Even
food
when
is
you-
good too. Like
if
I
you-
mean, it's decent.
order delivery to your house,
The bread is amazing.
and it's fast. Like they're here
Not
quick.
to my house, dog.
No?
No,
I get
Rob-
You
hell
do
no.
live. You probably don't know this, obviously. Raymond doesn't. No, he doesn't want anyone to know where he lives because he lives
I did it
so
on
far out in
purpose.
BFE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
I've driven
live in
him.
my
I've
own
had to take him
paradise.
home before, and it was
do they
just-
burn crosses
With my
by
circle.
you? Do they
Nope.
burn crosses
Not
out
for
there?
me. I'm good.
You ain't out there?
I'm good.
a lot of
dog.
Trump flags, but there's also a lot of like gay pride flags too. Same road. Yeah.
okay.
It's a mixed neighborhood.
It's a diverse community that understands each other's plight.
Yeah, right. You know, they'd be walking their dogs like staring down the houses. They're walking by. There's that Trumper.
She lives over
Everybody
there.
seems
Fifi poop
probably.
right there on that.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you?
Well,
At this
Oh
point,
man, this is crazy.
what's going on?
All right, do you guys know who number 1 is? Do you want to take a stab at
I
who
know.
you think
Taco
number 1
I
is?
know. No, hell no. Nope.
You know who it is.
Go ahead, Memphis. I'll give you a chance.
Wendy's.
Nope. I
They're
know.
actually, Wendy's, for whatever reason, looks like they're towards the bottom of the
Yeah,
list.
I know
What?
exactly who it is.
Yeah, I don't like that redhead slut.
The number one fast food for customer service, without a doubt, is Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah. There ain't no question.
Oh.
And it is number 1 on the
Chick-fil-A.
list. Chick-fil-A. I even the other
Boom.
day, we pulled up to the
Do
Chick-fil-A.
I get a prize?
well,
Congratulations.
Thank
More
you. I guess
weed for you after the show.
Nice. That's the
all I
score
wanted.
right there,
Yeah,
man.
that's all
Boom.
it needs.
Well, can we stop now?
The show's just getting started.
Oh, damn.
so even with all the controversy about Chick-fil-A and
They
Well, they
didn't,
do have controversy. I mean, they don't like gays.
that
And they
was
not
it.
open on Sunday.
Yeah, but
do they not like them, or they just have
They
some?
don't like gays.
Did
I don't
they, did
think
they
they
come
do.
out and say that they didn't like
They
gays?
did.
They just don't like gays eating chicken. No, just kidding.
hey,
Again, I'm just kidding. Once again,
I was only kidding.
Let's do it.
kidding.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I got the wrong hat on here.
They are
Damn
closed
it.
on Sundays.
Yeah.
And that actually kind of
Yeah.
pisses
There
me
we
off.
go.
There you
For
go.
all complaints and all letters to you.
So the brand though with the worst American customer satisfaction index is McDonald's.
What?
I think it's because so many people have interactions with McDonald's. They've got the most stores.
Why there's so many?
And
Yeah.
there's so
I thought they
many
were
that
gonna
you're
say,
you're gonna have a chance. In some of these small towns, that's the only thing they got in the whole town is the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I mean, they
that's
definitely
true.
have a lot more stores, but McDonald's is coming in with the worst. Next on the list is they got a heck of a spicy chicken sandwich.
Popeyes?
Popeyes.
That's what I was going to say. I thought Popeyes would have been worse because that mayhem with them chicken sandwiches. And
I ain't
carrying
been to
on.
Popeyes in a while.
I like the Popeyes.
I
but,
used to love
my favorite
Popeyes.
right now is Arby's.
They got
We
the
got the
meats.
meats.
You like the Arby's?
I do, and
Don't
I
they
love
have a
that
burger?
meats.
Don't they have a burger at Arby's?
I'm all about this brisket sandwich, a smoked brisket sandwich, and then I get the French dip sandwich too, so you can dip them both in the au jus.
Yeah,
And
you
then they
might-
got
you-
this
you might
white
wanna-
mac and
Sounds good.
cheese.
You might want to get that blood work done like you were talking.
Yeah.
See where you're at on that blood. If you're going to Arby's that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I go once a week.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, but how many times a week do you go to Wendy's? What about
this hat? What
about Wendy's? How many times you go to
I
Wendy's?
never know. I want a week. I get one
but
shit.
Arby's is your
You go to one
My
restaurant a
go-to.
week.
I get one shitty meal a week like
Okay,
that.
that's cool. Yeah. No, you're good, man. And keep exercising.
Clean out your cold.
Do more than just play basketball.
I play
here.
basketball and dunk on you guys once a week.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out
Dunk.
after the show.
All right.
Although
Foul.
TK,
That's
he
a
has
weird
been catching
way of
fire.
saying
lately.
foul.
Why?
Yeah, no, he's been shooting like a double.
Other restaurants that are on the list that are towards the bottom,
bro.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Also, Wendy's is at the bottom of the list.
They
And
just
then-
I think they just gave up.
and then
Wendy's.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Sonic is towards now you start.
They don't even let you.
cool
Sonic won't
commercials,
even
though.
let you inside.
Them Sonic commercials are really cool, but
Yeah.
everything else is like, I'm cool.
I like the drive-in style though. It's kind of a change of pace.
It's a fun angle. I'll give you that. It's a really fun angle. And sometimes you fall for it, but you quickly remember right then after your order comes, maybe you should have stopped there.
I liked before the Me Too movement, like even before my time. I remember the drive-ins were only for the hot girls on roller skates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way the drive-in
Well,
became popular in the beginning.
So tell me how the Hooters made it through the Me Too movement then.
Well, they are not even as they got guys that work at Hooters now.
No,
they had to
and-
cave
Doing
to
what?
it.
And
No,
that's
they
and,
don't.
and,
In the
and-
shorts?
I think
I remember when
That'll
the
be
guy
next.
sued
They
him.
got that sausage just sideways
remember
through
the
those
guy
shorts
that
there,
sued,
coming out, sticking out there.
The guy that sued
He's such a
Hooters for
jackass.
he wanted to be a like a waitress. Or
You
whatever,
want the wings or you
and-
want the sausage?
And they wouldn't hire him for obvious he wasn't a chick, and so he sued Hooters and he won for sexual discrimination.
But I don't ever remember there being dudes there.
I ain't never seen no dude except in the kitchen.
No.
Or they should be.
Right. Oh,
What the hell's going on? Where your balls at, man?
No, I'm.
Did any of you guys ever work in a restaurant or a fast food
I worked
place?
at Burger King.
Burger King. What were you on the fryer? Were you running the register? Did you do it all? What all
I
did
did
you
not do the register, but I did make those delicious Big Macs and double stuffed Macs and shit like that.
You were in the kitchen, huh?
Yeah, but it was actually really cool though.
What are your testicles, dog?
Hey, shit, I was 15.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like the kitchen is the man's. Like the grill, that's us, dog.
But
like,
see, here's
I'm
the
all
thing
about
about
it.
But here's the thing about Burger King, they don't use a grill.
Now you're making
it's
me
like
hungry.
it's
Well, no,
like
it's
it's
the
a
same
it's
thing.
like a little rotator.
I thought it was flame broiled. I thought
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
like
they
so
say.
I'm giving away all this secret.
right.
I'm finna
Come
give
on,
away.
G.
I'm giving away all the secrets right now. So like, what you do, you take the meat out of the box because it comes in a box
Of
and
course it
already
does.
round patty,
Course.
and you put it on the little
Frozen.
thing, the little rotator thing that charbroils it, and it comes out cooked on the other side, and you got the buns on the bottom.
It
and
comes
cooks
out heated on the other side.
Yeah, and then you got all the fixings right there: tomato, lettuce, whatever it is you're gonna put on the.
That's mystery meat,
I always
though.
loved Burger King.
Yeah.
And the onion rings.
Oh yeah,
Burger King onion
I used to
rings
do
were
some
fire.
crazy. We used to make some most ill, like whenever we be ready to close, we be making like the craziest sandwiches. I mean, one time I
bet.
made a double chicken Whopper. Man, that shit was great. I took that shit home.
I like a Whopper.
It shared it with my brothers, and they was like, "This shit is great. You should make some more.
Do
Bring
you?
some on
I
tomorrow."
bet you do.
And then they pissed me off.
I worked at Dairy
Sorry.
Queen, so I became a master of the
Gentry said that.
pouring the ice cream out, and then you'd have to
did
make
you
the
now?
move to get the little dilly at the top. You know, with the little, you know
Oh,
what
you
I'm talking
the
about.
little swirl thing.
Yeah, you got to learn that. That's a technique that I learned while I was at Dairy Queen.
Oh, you used to work at Dairy Queen?
I did.
I love Dairy Queen.
My first job was grocery store. Then I went to Dairy Queen.
Nice.
And I remember enjoying that job, especially on the weekends, because the main boss didn't work on the weekends. So we had this one guy named Buster, who was the manager.
Buster.
And Buster was a good time.
I think of Buster Douglas for something.
And
Did they name the peanut butter parfait after him?
no, I think they fired him soon after, because on the weekends he would we would make all these concoctions with the blizzards, like Memphis was saying, we'd making your own sandwich. We would make all kinds of different blizzards, and I remember when people would piss him off. He actually one time, this is a true story, he took a piece of the rag that we would wipe the counter down. Somebody was being shitty to him in the drive-thru, and he was like, "Whoa, Buster, I'm going to show this son of a bitch." He ripped like a piece of the rag off, and then like started sprinkling it on someone's burger.
Oh no!
Gave it to him. He would drop people's shit. He's like, "Oh, You want to be an asshole? He'd be in the back. He would drop the burger on the floor and he'd be like, 1, 2, 3, pass the 3-second rule, and now pick it up and put it on there. And he would just fuck people's food up if you were an asshole.
Don't trust nobody named Buster.
You ever seen
and
Waiting?
He's spraying your food. I love that movie, man.
Yes.
That movie is classic.
You've seen it? No. Yeah.
It's so good.
Anyways, but it's basically about that, working in fast food restaurants and then dropping people's stuff on the floor, sticking it in your pants, and then putting it back on their
It's like
bun and giving it to them, and everybody, has a good laugh about it. Then you peek out in the dining room and watch them take the first bite of it. Yeah, they ate it.
That's so gross, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's move past the fast food.
Thank you.
We have some breaking news. We're going to go to our news correspondent. That would be Tomkat. He's the one that watches all the news on the show. I guess House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the U.S. will not abandon Taiwan as the Chinese are protesting. I hear that there could be war ahead, world war. TK, go ahead and scare the listeners. What's really going on?
Pill popping Pelosi. She's on the move. She's on the move again. She head over to Taiwan after completing a 2-day Asia trip, and they weren't sure if she was going to stop in Taiwan because China's saber rattling, and they had their military had started live fire drills all around Taiwan, and we got about 6 destroyers off of the coast of Taiwan, but she did land last night, so she was there and she was hanging out. I saw a video of her hanging out. I know some people saw that on. You might have watched that on TV. And then she took off this morning and she didn't get blowed up. And China's pissed.
China wants to control Taiwan. I know that because there's a lot of money in Taiwan with computer chips and everything you look at. If you look closely, you'll see a lot of things made in Taiwan. Cheap labor over there.
YKK on your zipper.
And China wants that control. Also, they want control of Hong Kong as Hong Kong tries to Americanize and get away from the communist idealism of the Chinese government.
The Chi-Coms.
Do you really think that this is a real threat? Nancy Pelosi, so powerful, she can show up in Taiwan and stir up a world war. Why specifically you think she would? Do you know why?
Well, it isn't so much that it is she, but she's the highest ranking U.S. diplomat to land in Taiwan since I think Newt Gingrich back in like 1996, I want to say. But that's what's pissing them off. And because she has stated, even while she was there, that she supports Taiwan's independence and Taiwan separating from China, being its own state. China is not with that fuck shit. Not that I'm saying it's fuck shit, but that's how China feels about it. China's not having it. A lot of people think, I'm also not saying that the U.S. military might not be up to the task of taking on China right now. Were they to try to reunify Taiwan, be basically like take it back via force with their military? They're doing live fire drills outside of it. They said they were going to do it.
Do you think they're going to do it because Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan?
I think it is a pretext for them to do it, just like when they sent Kamala.
Better show respect to our vice president, Tomkat.
Okay.
Say her name correctly.
Kamala.
There you go.
All right.
Very nice. Because we don't want to upset any queen bees.
Anyways, when they sent her over to Ukraine, right? And what happened? Russia invaded Ukraine because she went over there and was like, Ukraine is a free country. Ukraine, we support Ukraine's independence. What did Russia do? Invade Ukraine. What's China going to do? But, that's just, that's one possible outcome. But if China were to do that, we'd be in trouble because they blocked that. All the chips for the computers and the cars and all the fancy shit we have comes from there. So
what should we do, TK?
We can't do anything. That's actually what kind of sucks about it. I don't think there's really much we can do. Just kind of telling you what's happening.
All right. Well, we'll move on. Speaking of Queen Bee, earlier I mentioned the Queen Bee. This was brought to my attention. Beyonce has gotten some flack for her new album she just dropped named Renaissance. Unfortunately, I haven't heard it. I'm not a huge Beyonce fan.
It's really good.
I've heard a couple songs.
But people are liking Beyonce. They love Beyonce.
What was this?
But they're what's what?
The smoke. The smoke.
No.
But Spaz, I guess please explain to me.
Don't spaz out, Gentry.
I don't know who wants to explain it, but you guys told me that she has a song that's being revised or going to be changed because she used the word spaz. I didn't realize we can't even say spaz.
I'm not familiar.
Spaz.
I don't understand the term spaz. Like what people freaked out about.
Well,
I don't get it.
Apparently, the term spaz is people who have mental illness and are maybe hyperactive disorders who have been called spaz were hitting her up on Twitter, where everybody gripes at the same 14 people, and saying that they're offended. They're offended by her using the term spaz, which was a lyric actually written by Drake. That's in her song. I can't remember the name of the song.
Drake would write something,
but
like
it's
that.
Basically, I'm a spaz on that ass. I'm a spaz on that ass. I'm a spaz on that ass. And to be honest, she's not talking about your mental illness, spaz. I'm calling you spaz.
It says
but
that
she
the track.
wasn't. She's just saying, I'm gonna spaz on that ass. I'm gonna spaz on that ass. So don't spaz out.
Yeah, it says here that the track in question is called "Heated," and Beyonce sings, just like you said, "Spazzing on that ass." Spaz on that ass. What does it mean, I guess, to spaz on someone's ass? I guess go crazy on their ass.
Well, I know what I'm doing. If I spaz on your ass, you know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, well, what are you what are you doing?
And it's going to be more than all ski.
I think spooge is another word for it. Spooge.
Gross.
It looks like
yeah, baby.
Lizzo.
Yes.
This article also says Lizzo faced backlash for using the same language on her song "Girls," and she had to update the track. And now Beyonce is actually updating the track.
She got a lot of back though.
Beyonce's got a lot of back.
Oh, you talking about her or Lizzo?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Ew, gross.
And then Monica Lewinsky, I guess, is also upset, and she wants one of the songs revised on Beyonce's album. Is this because maybe Beyonce's album isn't selling enough copies and they're trying to stir up controversy?
No, I don't think so. I think it's nobody's buying like physical copies or anything like that. Or buying
nobody's streaming it. Nobody's listening.
I actually like the album, so I don't really think
the
it's
album
needed.
is not bad. I mean, it's not bad. You can tell why Drake rushed his piece of shit album out because Beyonce came with it. It's a couple of songs that I'm like, were you experimenting with mushrooms or something? You know,
better give me some.
But to me, the best song on the album is Virgo Groove. Ramo, you'll like that.
I gotta check it out.
So Virgo Groove. So the day it came out last Friday, when it came out, I played Virgo Groove, the first song on the album.
Are we talking about Drake or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played the first rec on the joint on the album just to kind of test it out, and people thought it was hella dope.
I like her.
I think that's
I like
what
what I've heard of it. On the topic of artist integrity, I wouldn't change shit on my album.
Artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit.
We just on another podcast called Dem Vinyl Boys, we just had we did 2 live cruises, Nasty as They Want to Be.
That was dope.
Which that album, if you listen to it, I mean, there'd be a million people today. They'd have to change every stinking song. If you really listen to that album, that's the album that even got the parental advisory sticker put on all your video games. And the reason why you see that on all the albums that have bad language is because of this group. People actually got arrested for selling the album because the stuff was that filthy, but they didn't go back and change it. Now, I will say they made a clean version of it, which didn't sell nearly as many copies. But I think you got to have the artistic ability to be able to say what you want, unless you're inciting some kind of riot and causing a fight, which some Tupac music, I think, did.
Like Tupac Group technically incited riot. You got a lot of folks popping their pussy out there, and there's a lot of them out there, and there's going to be a lot of guys. There's a lot of action, and next you know, you got a riot.
There's a lot of derogatory stuff and a lot of music that nobody's changed or will change or is
what
gonna
about
change,
Come On Eileen? I mean, do
I just
people
played
really
that
know
the
what
other
that
day.
song means?
Yeah, it's great.
I know what he's saying.
He's coming all over Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. It's right there.
I played that at the high school basketball games.
And people love that song and have no freaking idea. It's like he's like, come on, Eileen.
What about Brown Eyed Girl?
What's that one about?
Is that what
down in the dirty hollow when the rains came? Come on now.
TK loves that
You
song.
gonna learn today.
Yes.
Brown Eyed Girl.
Brown Eyed Girl.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. I would like to pay homage to a couple of icons that passed away. Maybe for our younger audience, they're not familiar with the names Vin Scully and also the legendary basketball player. Of course, TK, I'm going to let you intro him because this is going to be your African-American spotlight of the week. Bill Russell. Go ahead and do you have any nuggets about the great Bill Russell who died at the age of 88?
Yeah, I sure do. And
And
Bill Russell was a great American.
He was a great American.
First North American African-American head coach.
Yep, he was.
11-time champion in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of wins.
Which is insane.
Yeah, best
Bob
sports
Cousy.
champion ever.
Coming out of high school, he was 2-time state champion in high school.
Yep.
It's amazing. 2 times you go to the state championship as a high school kid. He must have been, he must have been the man at his high school.
One time
he's a
NCAA champ, and then also a U.S. gold medal winner and captain of the team as well.
So he's literally
Civil
won
rights activist.
on every level.
Every
Level he's won.
All the
greatest championship.
pictures
Greatest
I've
champion.
seen of him, he just seemed like he had a really amazing smile and a good personality.
Yeah.
He was a fun guy.
When people talk about goats, it's the word people like to. I'm almost sick of that word, so I'm pissed
I
at
am
myself
so
for
sick of
saying it.
It's
But the people want to put him, don't really want to put him in that conversation. That's what I'm trying to say. But he should be. When you think of 11 championships, we say Michael is the greatest. He's got 6. I mean, Bill almost doubled him.
He did.
And he had to do it at a time when in a city like Boston.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's a racist city.
But
Boston.
is that
It's one
why
of the
they
more
say that
racist
it
cities.
was a little bit easier because he had just playing against all the little tiny white people?
No, I mean Will Chamberlain was doing that era, and he was give Wilt the business. Him and Wilt would go back and forth.
They did.
Like Wilt only won 1 championship when he was with Philly, and that's because Bill Russell felt sorry for him. That's crazy.
11 championships. It's a crazy thing. And also back-to-back high school, 1 at the college level. Like you said, TK, also a gold medalist and a civil rights activist where he was constantly, at the forefront. I believe he marched with Martin Luther King. He was out there marching with Dr. King. So 88 years old. I actually have a Bill Russell story. I went to Shaquille O'Neal's Hall of Fame ceremony up there in the Boston area.
Oh.
And Allen Iverson was being inducted. Also, who else was being inducted that year? Tom Izzo was being inducted from Michigan State, the legendary Michigan State.
T to the Izzo.
Jerry Krause, the legendary guy from the Bulls franchises. They were putting him in. And Yao Ming and Shaquille O'Neal. And Cheryl Swoops, the female basketball player, all being put in.
Okay.
I got sat down, I don't know, by the luck of God or whatever. All of a sudden, I'm sitting down. I look next to me. It's Bill Walton on one side, and I got Bill Russell on another side. And I remember that John Thompson from Georgetown is sitting 2 seats away from me. Phil Jackson is there. Scottie Pippen is there.
Get out.
And I'm just sitting there. Allen Iverson's there. And I happened to end up next to Bill Russell. Well, Allen Iverson that night when he was doing his speech, he ended up going way long.
He was high.
Way past. And if you watch,
he was high back then. They didn't know.
If you watch that speech, it's really heartfelt. I really fell in love even more with Allen Iverson that night because he was real. A lot of the guys just read the script because if you're in the audience, you could see the teleprompters. And you could see some guys were just reading the teleprompter. And he was going off the cuff. The teleprompter guy probably is like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Because he would just go off on his own tangent. Well, I look over and I hear Bill Russell's like snoring, sitting next to me.
That's hilarious.
He's sleeping. and I remember he had a woman that was like helping him get around. I thought it was a nurse, but it happened to be his wife.
Oh, wow.
And he wakes up after Allen Iverson's been going on and on and on and on. He wakes up and he says, God damn, is that Ian still talking? Yeah, he goes,
I love it.
I got to take my pills.
I love it.
Where? God, if we don't get out of here soon, I got to take my goddamn pills. And I was like, I was cracking up. I was like, Bill's got to get out of here. And then I remember when I left, I was doing sports talk radio at that time, and I came back, and I felt bad saying it, but I was like, man, Bill didn't look good. He's falling asleep during the Hall of Fame ceremony, and he just knew he needed to take his pills. And when you seen him move around, this is a guy who's almost 7 feet, 80-something years old at that time. He moved really slow. I'm surprised he made it as long as he did, but what an icon. Bill Russell. It was an amazing night to be sitting next to him.
I bet.
In the presence of him.
An honor.
But,
this motherfucker's still talking.
Yeah. And, he seemed like he was gracious with his time as well. And the NBA always would have him back at all the all-star events. So I was happy to see that they've shown respect to Bill Russell.
And all the young players, they love being around him. He was like the granddad. Like as far as I can remember, like the past 10 years, like all these younger players would just gravitate toward him and like be all up on him. Like
he's
the
a
vets
legend, man.
Yeah, that's a man.
As long as he had his pills, he was cool.
Yeah, man.
Needed my pills now.
He was concerned that Allen Iverson was going to fuck up his pill. He had to get those pills by 8 o'clock.
Right on schedule.
And R.I.P. to the great and powerful Bill Russell. His legacy will live on. And in my opinion, won more championships than all of them. He should definitely be in the conversation with Michael, with LeBron, with Kareem, in my opinion.
And Lord knows, Allen Iverson is still talking.
I think he's untouchable. He's probably in the class of his own.
He is.
Let's move on to another icon that passed away, and I believe it was on today, earlier today. Maybe you guys don't know a whole lot about this guy. I know Memphis has got a lot of Vin Scully love, but being in the radio business and in the sports business, this guy is a really a legend. He was a living legend until earlier today. But Vin Scully died at 94. You guys
94.
know who he is? Vin Scully?
I don't.
He's amazing.
You never heard of him?
Baseball.
What about you, Ramo?
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, the name is extremely familiar. I know he's related in sports broadcasting and different sports.
He lived an interesting life. He grew up in Brooklyn and ended up going to the Navy. He was going to college and then he had to go off and fight in the Navy. But then he became, a sidekick for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And then when they moved to L.A., nobody wanted to go out there because the team sucked. And then he went out there. And most broadcasters that call baseball, as you know, there's 2 people in the booth, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
They have the play-by-play guy. They got the color guy. They got and then sometimes they have another analyst. And sometimes nowadays they'll have somebody on the field too. This guy called the games on the radio all by himself.
Nice.
And he would tell stories, and I got some of his all-time great calls. This one is from 1988 World Series. For you sports fans, you will remember Kirk Gibson. He had been hurt, and he wasn't even supposed to play. But Tommy Lasorda, he called him in at the bottom of the 9th inning. It's one of those 3-2 pitches. Some guy comes out there with broken legs, and all of a sudden he hits a home run. This is Vin Scully
2 outs
on the call back in 1988. Let's hear the audio. Improbable and possible. People were really excited about that team. And then Kurt Gibson, if you've seen the video, he's like going around and he does a fist pump and he limps around the bases because
he had like a swollen
his legs were all messed up.
Hamstring, it was all messed up.
Yeah.
So that was a big call. This one may be even a bigger call. Hank Aaron. At this time, he was playing in the South in Atlanta, black guy, about ready to pass a white man's record.
Beautiful.
A home run record. This is Vin Scully calling the Hank Aaron number 715 for the Braves.
1 ball and no strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away. Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
The other thing that they say Vin Scully was kind of a pioneer on, that radio guys love hearing themselves talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they would always talk, but you hear the fireworks going off. You hear Vin's not saying anything. I'm the asshole now talking because I want to hear myself talk. But Vin Scully would just let it breathe, as he would say, as a broadcaster.
Yeah, I
what
like
a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. And it is a great moment for all of us, and particularly for Henry Aaron, who was met at home plate not only by every member of the Braves, but by his father and mother. He threw his arms around his father, and as he left the home plate area, his mother came running across the grass, threw her arms around his neck, kissed him for all she was worth.
That's what this country can be. That's the promise of America. That's the best of us.
Wow.
For all of the dark shit that we talk about on this podcast about America, that is the promise. That is the shining city on the hill.
They got me emotional a little bit.
Every time I hear Vin call,
just to hear that, like that,
you get chills.
Beautiful. That's
I don't know.
The togetherness there is it.
That was amazing.
You know,
the way he told that story, the way he painted that picture.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you got to see the South, you know, especially back then, not kind to black people, not a place where black people felt welcome or anything. So, you know, that's
true.
And they're applauding him breaking the record of a white man. You can tell they're truly
they're
happy
Yeah.
with him,
It was very
for
loud.
him,
Yeah, it was
together.
loud, yeah. And I think the fact that he let it breathe, like that totally like just sets the tone, like you get to hear the like maximum roar of the crowd at that apex of it all, like right when it happens, like he just calls it and it's over, like, and you hear the crowd screaming. It's great, dude. Great.
And if you see the video, we'll have the video up on YouTube as the Outcast Podcast. We now have a video. We've got Jordan in the director's chair back there directing this.
Good job, Jordan.
Okay.
But as you will see on the video
Get ready
version,
for some ball dog.
when Hank Aaron hits that home run, I always think of those two 70s dudes that run out there with the sports coats.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, way to go.
And he looking back like, what the hell? Who the hell are y'all? He think they were like, oh, he might do something to me. And they like, no,
we just want to celebrate with you. So yeah, what a great moment. I mean, I hate to see a guy pass away, but he lived a hell of a life at 94. Now there are a few things I'll tell you about his life. He didn't really talk a whole lot about his personal life on the broadcast. Well, it doesn't really make too much sense. But he actually, I feel like he lost his first wife to some kind of disease, or maybe she was addicted to alcohol or something.
That sucks.
Something like that.
That's a disease.
A disease in itself.
Yeah,
that's a
and
disease.
then another interesting story. I hope I'm telling you right, but Vin Scully had a moment in which he lost his son. His son was like on an oil rig or something, and he died in a traumatic event while he was calling games for the Dodgers, and he ended up having to take a couple of games off. But at the same time, he found out that his son died on an oil rig. The phone rang literally 5 minutes later, and his other son or his daughter was having one of his grandchildren. So he in an interview I saw one time, he was talking about the emotions of that, where you get one call where you lose a son, and literally 5 minutes later you get another call where you have a grandson to go welcome into the world. And it was just a day of emotions. Like I said, he fought in the Navy, grew up in the streets of Brooklyn playing stickball, didn't have a whole lot of money. So his story is really a good one, and it should be told. And you young bulls out there should listen to Vin Scully, especially broadcasters out there that talk into a microphone like we do for a living, should respect his storytelling.
Amazing.
And his ability to engage an audience. So tip of the cap to the old Vin Scully.
We should do a sports podcast.
We should. I love sports.
Me too.
TK,
So
we'll have to leave you out of this one. TK, because you don't like sports.
But he says a lot of funny, dumb shit, so that's cool.
You like Tom Brady. It was his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady, 45.
We got the same name.
All right, you can be on the sports podcast.
All right, cool.
Tom
See
Brady.
that laugh,
Yeah.
too.
Yay.
How can we get rid of that?
Yeah. Your name's Tom, so you're the goat. I said it again. You got to be on.
You guys can then be teaching somebody. instead of
All right, so we're on to our final topic here before we get out there and play
Is this
some
Wiz
basketball.
Khalifa?
Oh,
The Wiz Khalifa show audio. I know you wanted me to play it.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Wiz Khalifa, I guess, has pissed off all the DJs. I've heard a
I'm
little
not
bit
mad.
about it.
I think it's funny actually.
What
but,
did-
if he
what did
did it
Wiz
to me, well, Wiz is pretty tough, so I don't know what I would have done. But I would hope that I would have smacked the leather pants right off that
weed with Snoop
motherfucker.
Dogg, man.
We'll see.
Nah, so what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. He's pretty tough.
They were at this club Poppy out in L.A. and
Talk to me.
And Wiz was there to perform. So
Okay.
the night happens and the situation happens. Here's what happened.
Uh-oh.
We got the audio here. Let's play it.
That's the audio.
This is what happened.
Yes, nigga, if you want to fight, nigga, we can do it.
Want to fight?
Y'all niggas suck. Don't hug me, bitch. Y'all niggas suck. Play my new shit, nigga. Play it. Play badass bitches. Y'all are horrible DJs. Now, I came here tonight to promote for y'all and have a good ass time and have a great time. But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm niggas like this shit is acceptable. I'm a real ass nigga, dog. My album just came out today. Play my new shit, dog.
Nobody in the crowd seems to give a shit.
They seem to like it.
Get out the way. I don't like you, dog.
He said, I don't like you. He pushes the one dude. That dude kind of looked like me a little bit. By the way, that's not me. If anybody's wondering. In that video.
I was wondering.
I've seen on Twitter where the DJs are going after him, and I saw a little clip where he was like, going off. So what really happened, Memphis? You said you got some kind of inside scoop.
Memphis was the DJ.
No, I was not the DJ. I was not the DJ. Thanks a lot.
You guys suck.
So, I got the true plug. So here's, like I said, what happened. So Wiz performing at this Club Poppy in L.A. The DJ.
Shout out to Club Poppy.
Club Poppy, shout out. Let us come out there and do something. The DJ was sent everything prior.
Email. He didn't check the email, Ramo.
He didn't download the set list that they had already sent them. So when Wiz gets there, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Then it gets crazier. So Wiz is cool for the most part. Let's work with you to fix it right. So they was playing like other songs before they try to fix the shit. And they kept cutting the song out like 30 seconds in, and they be like talking. But meanwhile, it's a Wiz Khalifa performance. Like he's performing there. So the DJ and the host, and mainly the host, was doing all this crazy shit.
The dude, he was like, I don't like you.
And Wiz
dude.
He gave him four chances, and it's the video is out there where actually everything that happened that led up to where everybody's seeing it at. And Wiz gave him four chances, and before he just like went off on his. Now I don't think he should have smacked the dude hat off his head.
Well, he also challenged him to a fight.
Yeah, and that because I mean that's.
He said we can fight right now.
You threatening somebody, so that could have went any kind of way.
I just feel bad for those guys because Wiz, you're a DJ. Wiz Khalifa is somebody you idolize. You know what I mean? Like they were probably like out of their mind. They probably were like, this isn't happening right now. Even though they messed up, didn't have the music or whatever, they're probably like stunned that he was literally trying to fight him.
Wiz is a cool ass dude. So when I saw that, and like I know his DJ personally, and I'm like, yo, he is so fucking cool. To see him like spaz out like that.
I do think
you can't use that word spaz anymore.
Yeah, you can say spaz. You can say it.
If you can,
you're allowed. And another thing is that people think they have so much control over some other people and DJs that they're gonna tell me, now we're all going to cancel Wiz Khalifa and all you guys aren't going to play it anymore. Oh, I'm not going to play Wiz Khalifa anymore. How about you sit and spin because I'll play whatever the fuck I want to play. You know what I'm saying? That dude should have handled it with Wiz. He should have stood up to Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa was right there. He challenged him to a fight. He should have fought him.
Don't you have a story,
I don't have to take
TK?
Wiz Khalifa's shit out of my shit because you didn't beat him up.
You once told me a story where you were DJing for Sean Paul. Give me the light.
Oh, what happened with Sean
Give
Paul?
me the light. And you had some technical difficulties, but he didn't get on the mic and shame you, did he?
Oh, he did. He did? I was going live on my little live thing. Well, he didn't on the mic, but he came up. He was very nice about it. I fucked the audio all up. I had his songs to play, but then I was told to download the whole album on the beach with shit Wi-Fi.
I remember
seconds before he comes on. That computer then, of course, locked up because now we're downloading an entire album. Let's use this computer, not my computer. That computer failed while it was playing. I took all the heat. I didn't blame anyone else. It was other people's fault that happened. I took all the heat. But that's what happened. The shit shut off. And then the sound was kind of shitty and I had it up a little bit too loud. I was fucking up live streaming when I should have been just DJing. That was the beginning of live. It was a fucking train wreck. Sean Paul was pissed. He was supposed to do
That's why I put it on the rapper's management, though. I mean, you have to go before the show and try to communicate and test things or communicate.
We were all supposed to do
I think that the Wiz's management should take some of the heat and the DJ should take the heat. You got to be ready to go when it's showtime.
I was like, you could tell like somebody who never played with an artist before because if they send you the stuff way ahead of time, all you got to do is just download it.
What if he would have just spun around and pulled the back of Wiz Khalifa's feet when he was standing behind him? Dropped it. It's like pull his feet out because he was like standing behind him at one point when he knocked his hat off. He would just spun around.
I ain't gonna lie.
Jake, his feet out.
If somebody try me like that, I'm just turning my shit. I'm turning my
Then
shit
just
off
chop him in the throat.
out.
I don't think I'd ever put
Concert's
myself
over, bitch.
in that position. And not saying I don't know who was at fault, obviously, because I wasn't there. But like if I was ever at a club DJing somewhere and one of two things happened. Either dude didn't give a shit that Wiz was coming and didn't check his email even though he was told he was going to get it, or nobody ever told him he was going to get it, or he may not even have known that Wiz Khalifa was coming for whatever fucking reason. I don't know.
You look extremely stoned right now.
I am. But that being said, that alone, all right? Let's
end the show.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I actually think the problem is, to be honest with you, Ramo is not high enough.
Thank you.
We got to end the show. He was really high at the beginning of the show. Unfortunately, he's not high enough. So we must end the show.
Jackass.
I am high. Yes.
What were you talking about?
Yeah, who knows and who cares at this point? The show is over. Let's let Ramo smoke some weed and move on.
Thank you.
Episode 28 is in the books for the Outcast Podcast.
I wouldn't be in that position anyways.
Were you talking about
I wouldn't DJ. If I didn't have the music, I wouldn't DJ. I'd be like, well, somebody else
position
because I ain't put my name out there.
He's about to get buck position.
Put him in the butt.
Put him in the buck.
I ain't doing it.
Man, you can put it in the butt.
Put it in the buck.
Put Ramo in the buck.
Look up that position. Look up the position, putting her in the buck, and you'll learn something, children. All right, that's going to be it for us, the Outcast Podcast. We're about ready to go play some ball and hit the hoop court. TK has been on fire. You have anything you would like to say to the audience? You seem to be one of the biggest personalities on the show. The fans love you, TK.
Yeah. I doubt that, but I love you guys too. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's it?
I love you guys. Yeah, be good to yourselves, man. Don't let nobody tell you what to say. Spaz out! Spaz out!